Welcome back. Thank you for staying with the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. Member of the cannabis movement, Dr. Stephen King, says the case has been made for licensing once cannabis is legalized to be given to small farmers' cooperatives. He says a responsible legal regime for cannabis is the goal for the movement and not the commercialization of weed as some members of society fear. As the government continues to explore the legal framework for a possible cannabis industry, the cannabis movement is trying to ensure that small farmers are the ones who benefit as opposed to big foreign corporations. Member of the cannabis movement, Dr. Stephen King, says the establishment of a cooperative is a sure way to offset the power of corporations and big business which are moving into the cannabis industry worldwide and taking over.
Our proposal to government is that we need a cooperative process. So, and the license, the cannabis license, when we get to that point, should go to the cooperative. It gives the cooperative the power then to have the community of farmers and also any big business that wants to negotiate any cannabis activity in St. Lucia, be it a pharmaceutical, be it a export extraction facility, would have to engage with the cooperative, who would be the only body that would have the ability to produce or grow cannabis.
According to Dr. King, during public consultations on cannabis regularization, members of the public have indicated that they want to see an improved regime because they recognize that the current system is not working.
From our consultations, we see that the general public is wanting to move towards an improved regulatory regime for cannabis. There are people who are afraid of the health effects of cannabis, the negative health effects of cannabis, and there are people that want to see the positive health effects of cannabis being brought to bear through a legalized regime. And of course, there are people who want to see the business of cannabis, the farming business and the value-added industrial business of cannabis.
The money to be made in the cannabis industry can come from low-THC cannabis in the form of hemp. Hemp has proven to be a very diverse product with possibilities that straddle manufacturing and even clothing and textile industries.
What we are saying is we need a holistic legal regime, not that commercializes cannabis, but regulates cannabis and allows the benefits to be realized and the harms to be mitigated and minimized. That's what we're looking for. So it's not, a lot of people say when they say legalize, oh, it's free to weed, let everybody go and smoke. No. We're talking here about having a responsible approach. High THC variants come on our markets. They are contaminated with all sorts of products, and our youth are getting access to these high THC variants, which are causing more of the negative health effects which people want to prevent. So what we are saying is change that regime so that we can better protect people and we can benefit from the industry and the farming that cannabis brings to our people. Because there's wealth to be generated from cannabis growth and production.
The respected medical professional advocates that members of the public keep an open mind to the message and the facts that the cannabis movement is presenting as the government explores an improved legal regime for cannabis. Eastern Caribbean Central Bank Governor Timothy Antoine asserts the need for skills training as governments continue to combat rising youth unemployment. He says it is perplexing that though unemployment figures continue to rise, the ECCB has noted an increase in employment opportunities in several service areas such as plumbing and masonry. He says technical skills are a must if young people are to find work. Governor of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, Timothy Antoine, is highly concerned about youth unemployment statistics. Many countries are reporting double digits when the ages between 16 and 30 are compared to national unemployment levels. Antoine refers to the expanding tech industry as a mass employment avenue, which is lying in wait to be explored.
When you look at the demand for coding around the world, it is a massive demand. We only need to get a few thousand young people into that, and that will make a difference to jobs, the economy, and we suspect it will also ameliorate or reduce crime. So those are the things that we want to see our youth involved in. But there are other things. I mentioned that, but whether it's in agriculture, whether it's in cultural services, to me, the youth should be in everything. Everything. And we need to energize them and empower them to take responsibility now.
Declaring his concern over what he describes as an obsession with subjects rather than skills, Antoine advocates for technical training as a solution to the issue of youth unemployment. Given the existing global demand for tech-savvy workers, he says individuals with technical skills are better suited for thousands of existing employment opportunities.
We feel that we have to attract the right skills, because the irony is that you will see high unemployment in this country and throughout the currency union and still not be able to find a plumber, a really good plumber when you need. You still have certain technical skills that you cannot find. So there are some real opportunities for young people in the area of coding where you can make a good income, $2,000 US, for example, per month, if you are trained, and that training can take less than a year.
The ECCB governor advocated for an improvement in the teaching of non-traditional skills, including computer programming and behavioral science, in order to keep pace with 21st century developments. Senator Gideon Ferdinand is also making the case for more skills-based training within the education sector. He shares the opinion of the ECCB governor, who stated that current education systems in the region are not relevant to their needs and the changing times. St. Lucia and the OECS region, by extension, need to move with alacrity to address the education system to adequately meet the needs of their societies. So says Senator Gideon Ferdinand, a former principal at the Miku Secondary School. In the present context of globalization, the demand for skilled and multi-skilled workers has increased. Senator Ferdinand says a technical skills-based system is the way of the future, and St. Lucia's education system, as is not doing an effective job of teaching employable skills to students.
We have a very academic grammar school-based education system, modeled mainly after the European English system. And what it does is that there's a focus on development of academic knowledge, more than a focus on making whatever we're learning relevant to what we need.
With the current education system not meeting the requirements of the labor market, Senator Ferdinand says unemployment will continue to be an issue. More often than not, job opportunities require technical vocational skills that many young school leavers do not possess.
We have a situation with high unemployment that quite a few thousands of young people graduate from school every year and they can't fit into the job market. Either they don't have the requisite skills, or that the market just cannot absorb them because the places are limited. So our education system, I agree, would need to be revolutionized to ensure that the needs assessment is done for the job market and for creating employment as well, and so that whatever is done in school is complementing that. And so that can help to alleviate unemployment if we can empower our school leavers with the competencies and the skills needed to be able to create employment.
The island's Minister for Education, Dr. Gail Rigobert, recently underscored her ministry's intention to strengthen the vocational education and training TVET unit within the Ministry of Education. The TVET unit is concerned with the acquisition of knowledge and skills for the world of work. In the company of the nation's education administrators and principals, the Director of Youth and Sports, Patrick Mathre, announced the soon-to-be revised school sports policy. He says it is a timely intervention by the Ministry of Youth and Sports in collaboration with the Ministry of Education to ensure all schools are properly equipped to facilitate a productive and safe sports term.
With the Ministry of Youth Development and Sports, we are about to roll out a new school sports campaign, a new school sports policy. We're going to come to you, we'll meet with everybody. So our aim is meet the hierarchy of education. We meet the principals separate. We meet the education officers separate. We meet the youth and sports council separate, the associations, and we're saying to you, this is what a school sports model is about. And within the school sports model, we will define what school sports is. We will explain what is the nexus between education and school sports. We'll present the model, and finally, we will give you tips as to how to fund a school sports company.
Mathre says the safety of young athletes is of utmost importance, as a single injury could mean the difference between whether they are able to apply for sporting scholarships and professional contracts. He says the Ministry of Youth and Sports, and by extension the government, is fully dedicated to ensuring that athletes are given the best environment to meet their full potential.
We are very much concerned with the safety of our individuals and our children in this case, and that is why we've decided that we definitely will support the campaign and will make the kits available. So we are not an institution, a ministry, and I dare say a government who would talk the talk and not produce. We are living testimony that when we say we will do, we will do. So the Ministry of Youth Development and Sports this morning has produced the kits for you.
Over the next month, officials will coordinate individual visits to schools and offer training to principals and sports coordinators on proper implementation of the school's sports policy. This is the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. Stay with us. There's more coming up after the break.